I love how he calls it Twitter's current lords and peasants system, because that's exactly how I called it back in 2016. And if you spend a little bit time on Twitter, you will know that people with the blue check mark, they act as if they're royalty. They definitely act as if they're better than you. So apparently, you're going to have to pay $8 to maintain your blue check mark, which is a verification badge. But there may be a different system, I guess, like some sort of Nitro users on Discord, where people will get priority in replies, mentions, and search. Ability to post long video and audio, so this might actually give you the ability to post the same things you post on YouTube. That would be interesting. I can definitely see Twitter glowing as a platform with that. And you're going to see less ads, right? So this is a business model, like it's what he plans to do in order to make Twitter profitable, but the blue check marks are livid. And they're not livid because they don't have the money to pay $8, because most of them are millionaires. They're livid because of the audacity. Like, with what right does Elon Musk, out of all people, demand $8 from them? And we're going to look at some of the responses, which are absolutely hilarious. Now, the first conversation was with Stephen King. And if you don't follow Stephen King on Twitter, don't bother. Like, I'll tell you exactly what you need to know. Think of the most far-left, cringe, extremist, radical point of view on any issue. That's what Stephen King will say on Twitter. So you don't have to follow him anymore. I saved you the trouble. But I love it. Like, $20 a month to keep my blue checkmark. Fuck that. They should pay me. If that gets instituted, I'm gone like Enron. So notice the exact lord versus peasantry behavior. It's like, they should pay me. Do they not know who I am? Do they not know who my father is? Do they not notice my family regalia? Look at it. It's beautiful. It is right here. I do have to point out that many of these people think that Twitter is an airport and they have to state their departure. I personally do not think any of them will leave, because I'm still waiting for them to leave the United States since Donald Trump won the election. If you guys remember, back in 2016, was it? Yeah. A lot of celebrities and a lot of famous people, they said they will leave the US if Trump wins. They still haven't left yet. And yet some of those same people are now saying that they're leaving Twitter. So I'm waiting for them to finish their first obligation before moving on to the second. And then you also have Elon Musk saying that, well, we need to pay the bill somehow. We cannot rely entirely on advertisers. How about $8? So you have the richest man in the world negotiating with a millionaire about peanuts. This is surreal. And since this point forward, Elon Musk is now saying it's $8. It used to be 20, but I guess Stephen King managed to lower the price all the way down to 8. So the more money you spend, the more elevated your speech. Yes, David Rothschild, that is absolutely correct. I mean, up until now it was about nepotism and money. Now they just removed the nepotism and they put a cap at $8. I mean, why is it that up till now you could have someone working at The Guardian who would write articles no one would read, would have less viewership than I did, and they would have a blue check mark and there was no way for me to get it? Now, apparently, I would be able to pay $8 and I would get a check mark. And that upsets you, doesn't it? That's the problem. It's not the fact that you have to pay money. Oh my god, I mean, I'm looking at David Rothschild here. I wonder if he can afford it. I mean, it's $8 fucking, holy shit. If you charge for power. I love the fact that they understand that speech is power. Like, up until now, it was, oh, we must suppress speech. Oh, put censors, put fact checkers, downrank in the algorithm, shut down the Hunter Biden story. And now they're coming out and they're saying, oh, well, speech is not a right, speech is power. You know, every now and then they say the quiet thing out loud. It's very important to understand how these people think. You'll make the exact opposite of giving it to the people. Here in Brazil, we have many verified that give voice to the poor and or indigenous causes that are unable to pay a fee to maintain their verified. Well, they're not very smart, are they? I mean, if you actually have a platform and you're giving voices to so many people, and you don't have the $8, so you do have the money for your smartphone, you do have the money for your internet connection, you do have the money for the electricity required to charge the damn thing, but you just don't have the money for the $8 on Twitter. My god, it's such a predicament. What about, holy shit, crowdfund it. Crowdfund the $8 fucking. Oh, well, see, they're not very smart people. It took me literally 5 seconds to come up with the concept. But this will actually create the class structure concentrating social capital. My fucking god, dude, I went to 2 universities. I went to med school and law school. If you can't talk like a human being without spewing technical jargon, you're just trying to sound intelligent. Like, actual intelligent people know how to say something complex in layman terms, and people who are dumb, they use intelligent terms in order to sound smart. Concentrating social capital structure. It's like, fucking hell, there's no building, there's no structure. Blue ticks will become a sign of the rich. $8, alright? It's like, you know, I'm going to go, I'm gangsta. Like, what's up, V? What up? I'm rich. Do you know how much money I have in my pocket? $9, motherfucker. All the sexy ladies. Come on. I'm going to buy a sports car now. Holy crap. Right now, it's a sign of social recognition. No, it's a sign of nepotism and being rich. Shut the fuck up. Like, if you work at CNN, which is a multi-billion-dollar corporation, that's how you get a blue check mark, right? So you need to grease hands with the rich. Journalists, activists, writers who are recognized are not necessarily rich. This is not power to the people. Again, we live in the age of the crowdfunding. You can literally crowdfund, right? Like, you can go and ask people for money. If $8 is too much, look at this gem. Agreed. However, if, for example, a public figure chooses not to pay the $8 above, they can easily be impersonated by fake accounts. I mean, sure, you know, a public figure can also choose not to pay for their car insurance, and if their car gets totaled, they may not have the money to buy a new one. What's your point? It's like, you're paying for a privilege. You know, it's $8. Again, like, people say that Elon Musk is a troll. The level of concern trolling from these blue check marks is astonishing. Again, they're not upset that they have to pay $8. It's not that they can't pay $8. Like, notice how they're not saying, oh, I don't have the money to pay. No, I'm so concerned. I'm so empathetic. What about the other people, which I'm not going to name? What about the other activists and the poor and the misfortunate? And they're upset that they're being humiliated. And sometimes it takes the young, the youth, to call out things what they are. The check mark used to be something special, and you always looked forward to it, and now everyone is going to get it. And we have to pay to keep it. It doesn't make sense, says the Lord. Yes, that's literally it. Like, their privilege is being stripped away, and they are not happy about it. And finally, this is my favorite. David Sachs. Why are the New York Times, Washington Post, and the Atlantic free? Yes, what about the activists that need to stay in touch with what's happening in the world? How can they pay their fee for the Washington Post or the New York Times? How did they manage to scrounge up the money in order to read the press? To which AOC goes, are you seriously equating an app where people are torrenting racial slurs on an accelerated clip with the New York Times? Well, yeah, you know, racial slurs aside, at least Twitter provides less misinformation than the New York Times. Like, you are more likely to know what's going on in the world by being on Twitter than on the New York Times. And furthermore, almost every single journalist from New York Times is on Twitter. Right? So, it is a useful tool for New York Times to write their article pieces. Yes, like, as you're saying, the place where racial slurs happen, which you use, AOC, is also the place that New York Times journalists require in order to do their job. And of course, you know, her feedback is appreciated, but she has to pay $8. Now, I am aware of some controversy which recently came up about Elon Musk. I'll talk about it tomorrow. In the meantime, hopefully you guys found this video enjoyable. I didn't want to get into that because this was too funny and I wanted to share it to you. And I will see you as usual in the comment section. If you guys like this channel, please consider giving me a small donation or a tip on Subscribestar. Link is into the pinned comment. Take care.